It's been about 2 months since I did my last inbox video, and I have a lot of packages from subscribers piling up. I've got 5 so far. I think we should do another inbox video and see what's inside these boxes. Let's go! First up is a package that was supposed to be in the last video. This is from Julian's Random Projects. It's a Boxy. You see, he said he was sending me a Boxy. I thought Boxy was just what he was calling the little Western Digital media player that he sent me. So I thought that was the Boxy, but actually no, he sent me a thing called a Boxy. Now evidently this is a little media PC with a little Atom processor and stuff in it, and it's actually pretty cool. The only downside is that the company that controlled it and made all the software for it has been bought up, I think, by Samsung or something. So it no longer, this is no longer updated or anything. Weird. That's how it sits. That's so bizarre. On the back we have left and right audio. We have, I believe that's optical audio, HDMI, Ethernet, 2 USB connectors, a power connector. On the top we have 1 button. On the front we have really nothing. On the side we have an SD slot. This feels like this front comes off, but I think that's just an air vent along there. It's so weird. And the bottom is all green. There's like rubber on it, so it doesn't skid around. Inside the box we have another box underneath. So that would be, hey, an HDMI cable. I don't have one of those. There's the power cord, and this would be the remote. Interesting. That's pretty awesome. Thanks, Julian. I would go into detail about how it works, but it would just be like 8 minutes of me messing with the menu on a screen. We can do another video about that later sometime. Now, this next package is from somebody that I look up to and watch his content all the time. And I wish he made a lot more videos. I think he's starting to make a little bit more videos here recently. This package is from none other than Tesla 500, which I'm very surprised. He only has like maybe like 1,000 more subscribers than me. It's like, really? I thought he's one of those channels that I automatically thought he had like 30,000 subscribers, kind of like Aussie 50 or Photon Vids. Well, Photon Vids is 80,000, but oh well. Let's open up this package. This was in one of his recent videos, and I offered to trade for it, but then he just said, hey, if you send me $11, I'll ship it to you for free. Or I'll ship it to you for just the cost of shipping. So it's like, hell yeah. I gave him $15 though, because it was so awesome. Well, in the package there's a high voltage power supply that's burnt out. It goes from, it takes in 10 to 14 volts, 2.3 amps, and puts out 1400 volts, 0.005 amps. And now what does this power? I wonder. Well, let's open up this bag. And this other bag. It's a laser. That's freaking awesome. This, I believe, is a helium neon, or yeah, I think it's a helium neon laser. This was for a medical testing device. I can't remember sure what it was. The name of the machine escapes me right now. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. Whenever Tesla 500 tried to turn this tube on, this is what happened.
And it's quite obvious that here's where the problem is. You can see the back of the laser power supply is all melted. So clearly this has failed and overheated. So I'll have to see if I can find a replacement for this. The laser tube looks very old compared to some other ones I've seen. It actually has adjustable angle trim on the output on both the mirrors on both sides. Unfortunately, it looks like this laser tube is dead. I've hooked it up to a temporary power supply, and although this power supply does have some problems, it does power the laser up enough for us to see. Yeah, it's flickering due to the power supply. If you compare that to a properly operating laser, This is a much more orange color. So we can tell from that that this one has air is leaked into this, so it's not, this laser's dead. And of course, not to mention there's no output from this at all.
Now, obviously it's faulty. It's not working right, because it shouldn't pulse like that, I don't think. What's happened in here is, I believe this is a helium neon laser. Either A, some of the helium has leaked out, which I've heard that happens quite often. For some reason the neon stays in. I think it's because it's a bigger, they're bigger atoms. Or some air has leaked into it, so it's spoiled the laser. Well, I have a vacuum pump, and I'm also working on building a big vacuum chamber. So I'm wondering if maybe I could repair this. Either maybe open this up and add a big glass tube, and I could suck the air out and put new air back into it. Or I can just put it inside my vacuum chamber, break a little hole, suck all the air out, and fill it with air that it needs, and maybe that'll work again. It'll be fun for experiments, but I'll be doing this in a later video, because I'm going to devote an entire video for this, and the power supply. As you can see, the power supply has gotten very hot. Whenever he tried to turn it on, it pulled way too many amps, so it's obviously messed up. I'd advise you to go watch his video about it, because there's a lot of interesting stuff in that video if you want to learn more about this power supply and the laser that I got. Well, thanks Tesla 500. This next package is from Australia, from a subscriber by the name of Michael Phillips. He makes a lot of videos about stuff he builds, like kind of the same stuff I do, like solar-powered whatnot and lawnmowers and stuff. Well, he sent me this big package, which is really big for what I was expecting, because it's from Australia and it's kind of expensive to ship something that far. He spent $30 fucking sending this, so, well, thank you. I was kind of expecting a tiny little box. Oh well, let's open it up and see what's inside. Okay, so first off, I see a light bulb that says it runs between 100 and 240 volts. I'll have to try that. Don't know if that's LED or what. Weird. Here's a package. It's a cell phone case of some sort. Oh, and a battery. Awesome. Well, thank you very much. I can definitely use a battery. Oh, laptop battery. It looks like it has 3 lithium cells inside of it. A little switch by itself. That'll be useful. Well, hey, look at that. An Australian bulb. I've only had Edison screw types like this one. I've never had the Australian type. Oh, damn it. Got my hopes up. Oh well. That's pretty cool. Is that an iPhone? Weird. Wonder what happens when I take this off. Nothing? Ah, that's what happens. Ah, and finally an Australian plug. Now that is so cool. It's a little USB thing. That's so cool. I plan on taking a trip to Australia someday in the future, so I'll definitely take that with me so I can charge stuff. Whoa. Now that's awesome. I don't even know what type of motor that's from. It's a little bit bent, so I can bend that back. Looks like the mini arc reactor that Iron Man had in his chest plate. Huh. The hell? Looks like nickel cadmium, but... because usually nickel cadmium batteries are housed inside of a cardboard tube. That's the only reason I'm saying that, but I could be wrong. I have to test that out. Okay, so let's test out those light bulbs. First, whatever this is, I imagine it might be an LED light. That's cool. I like that. Doesn't get very warm either, so it looks like it's LED. Five watts. So that's what a 240 volt bulb looks like on 120 volts. Or like 122 or whatever we're at. I actually like that a lot. That would be great for a steampunk thing. I could have that in there, be a nice little dim yellowish glow. So these three batteries, I say let's work on this one first. This should be pretty simple. So this is where the power comes out, and it would hook into the back of, I think it's an iPhone. Let's open this up by peeling away the cover. It's like a piece of plastic on there. Underneath should be a little circuit board, I think. Oh, I see it there. So once I took the tape off, you could easily see how the outer casing of the battery is put around the plates. You can see that it's actually one double long strip of aluminium that it's set down. It's probably printed with the black label and stuff onto it on the back side first. Then the plates are put onto it, and it's folded over. And then it looks like it's glued down. Doesn't look like it's crimped down, because if it was crimped, you'd see little like signs of it being crimped. But it looks like it's just epoxied down, or maybe it's melted down. I don't know. But that's different from the 18650s, which have the plates coiled up as like a little spiral on the inside. They take the plates and they roll them up, and then they shove them into this cylinder, which is actually a blank that has been put into a press that just pushes it over a mold, so it's like an empty. It's like a cylinder with one side closed off. They put the coiled up plates on the inside with the two like tabs coming out, and then they just crimp on the outside. They put the positive cap on there with the little insulator to make sure the positive cap doesn't touch the negative outside. And that's how this is made, which these are a lot stronger than this one, because with this, you could just probably bend this and it would short circuit. But I don't know. I might test this someday. Now the thing is to get this little circuit board off. Even though the circuit board does help keep the voltage right and stuff, it has to talk to the computer on board the cell phone in order to let it charge or discharge. So I'm just going to get rid of that. Which actually, that's quite interesting if you look at that. Bunch of little chips on that. Now I can just read the voltage on here. .5 volts. Let's hook it up to my universal power supply and see if I can charge it. On second thought, I think instead of charging it directly with my universal power supply, I would instead charge it with my IMAX B6 balance charger. That way, I mean, I'll be powering the IMAX B6 battery charger with the universal power supply, and then I'll be using the IMAX B6 to charge the lithium battery. But the difference is, this will count up how much power goes into the battery, so I'll have a good estimate of how much capacity it still has. Now, this is a very small battery, so I'm going to only charge it with a small amount of current. Let's say half an amp. Let's see where that goes. And as you can see down the bottom right here, it's already counting how many milliamp hours the battery has. So while this battery is charging and the IMAX is calculating how much capacity it has, let's open up this laptop battery. There we go. Okay, so these are the cells that I got from that battery pack, and I haven't come across this color before. It's quite interesting. .34 volts, 2.25 volts, 2.24 volts. Those are really nice. So it turns out that this battery had 1,350 milliamp hours. That's actually only like 100 milliamp hours less than what it's supposed to have. So that's pretty good. It's like 90% capacity. Now let's test the capacity of these green cells. Well, the results are in and it has 2,300 milliamp hours. Which is probably what it's designed to have. It's probably fair enough to say that the other two cells probably have their full capacity also. That's pretty awesome. Thanks, Michael. And lastly, we go into this pack. Now, I originally thought this was a nickel-cadmium battery because it had cardboard around the cells. Because most of the time, nickel-cadmium batteries are have a cardboard outer shell. Actually, I think these are just 18650s with cardboard on the outside, just to help them be insulated. One way I can show that is by checking their voltage. I think that'd be only lithium ion. Now, I see that there's a wire here and a wire that's been cut off here, so if I attach these two together, about 20 volts. Looks like it's the pack from a power drill. Now, if this main motherboard right here still works, then this is very valuable like it is, or not valuable, but very useful to me like it is. It would take a long time to discharge it though, but I'll just figure that it has at least half of its capacity. That's very cool. Has its own battery management system, or BMS board on top of it. Next up is a pretty small package, just one envelope, but it's pretty useful. Unfortunately, I can't remember who sent this, but oh well. The person had seen my video where I was showing my old VCR, my 1982 VCR, and I was putting rubber bands on the belts to make it work. And he said that he had a bunch of old VCR belts just sitting in his garage that he'd never use again, so he sent them to me. That's pretty awesome. And these belts are in pretty good condition too. No cracks or anything. That'll make sure that my VCRs can stay working for probably several years. And finally, the last package is from somebody who didn't want me to say who it's from, so I respect that. Thank you very much, Mr. Anonymous. Oh. It's a Nintendo Wii. Something in here. Looks like this is empty, just for packing. Awesome. Has an SD card inside of it. 2 gigabytes. Huh. Comes with WarioWare Smooth Moves and New Super Mario Brothers. I got 2 copies of that, and I haven't had that yet. That's pretty awesome. Woo! Holy shit. Whoever you are you sure you wanted to have that in there? That's awesome. So this is a $10 bill from Hong Kong. July 2002. That's pretty awesome. I love money. It's just, I mean, having money, like, I really don't care if I have $100,000 saved up in the bank. But if I have $100,000 in old money and different money that's varied and whatnot, now that's awesome. Let's look at the $20 bill. I have to say, this addition to it may make this Mr. Anonymous package almost better than the Tesla 500 package. I don't know. This is pretty cool. Thank you very much. You definitely did not have to give me this much awesome stuff. A couple weeks ago I picked this up at a yard sale for $1. I know it's not official Nintendo hardware, but oh well. Now I have an extra Wii and I can put it in there. Huh. Wow, it's actually working. I was expecting it to be broken. Never heard of the Homebrew channel. I think that's hacked software. Interesting. Awesome. I gotta say I'm very happy with that. Especially since it has the Homebrew channel on it. I can play other games and stuff on it, N64 and whatnot. That's just freaking awesome. But because it's a Wii and it doesn't have any save files on it that I know of, I guess it's my duty to play Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess on it. Well, Mr. Anonymous, thank you very much for this Nintendo Wii. Hope you enjoyed this video and thanks for watching. See ya!